Hi all, good morning. Hope my voice is audible to everyone and my screen is visible.
Yes, Tanvir. Good morning.
Okay, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Welcome to this most awaited course, PL And we have, I will not tell this is a demo class, straightforward, I will start the class from today. Okay. And sorry, most of you are from my SQL batch. So you all know the teaching methodology, right? We share assignments and recordings and all this stuff, right? Hope you all know that.
Yeah.
So, is still any question, anyone? Do you have any? Okay.
Regarding
May I know?
PSQL,
Yeah, tell me.
no, Tanvir, actually, the question is about regarding PSQL or what about it?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat what you did?
No, Tanvir, you are asking about the questions, right? So, what is what I'm asking?
Mm-hmm. Just give me 1 minute. I think there is some issue at my headset. So give me 1 minute.
Yes.
Just a minute. Let me check the headphone. Some issue. Hmm. So I am telling that, yeah, okay, let me tell you first about it's Saturday and Sunday weekends, okay. And timing is 8 to 10 a.m. IST, 2 hours daily. We'll take 10 to 15 minutes break in between. Okay. And the course duration will be approx 30 hours. Maybe it can stretch to 35 as well, but I'm planning this for 30 hours. Okay. And I will be your trainer. And these all are the topics which we will be covering during the course. Introduction to PL SQL, basics of it, variables, constants, conditional statement, cursors, procedures, package, triggers, okay, indexes. And maybe if you have any other topic, we can take some ad hoc session like how we are taking in SQL. And we are planning for Python as well. I know many of you are from Python batch as well. Okay. But before that, may I know your expectation from this course? What are your expectations from this course?
Hi, Tanvi. Good morning.
Morning. Mhm.
On this side. So expectation would be to know the advanced concept of like extension of the SQL, which is PL SQL, like stored procedure and all those things.
Mhm.
So that sometimes in the interview basis and all those things, PL SQL like stored procedures and this
Mhm.
indexes, all these questions are asked. So
Mhm.
like we would like to take this understand this topic like deeply as you always teach. So in that way only, like we would like to understand the PL SQL concepts. That is, I think, the first sign of expectation.
Okay. Wow. Yes. Okay. Any other thought about the expectation? Why you have joined this course? I think I started the recording now. Hmm. Yes. Any other expectation from this course? Anyone?
The same, for me also, I really want to
Hmm.
learn more about visual procedure views and also
Mhm.
regarding how we use computables kind of things. I don't know views and computables related to this course, but I really want to more about the store procedure because in my current job, they are using more about store procedure only. So I really want to
Mhm.
learn more about that before. But also,
Okay.
in my company, they are using MS procedure. So I don't know how much it will be helpful before for me. So, but
Mhm.
I think the concept will be the same. So I think it will be helpful to me.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Anyone else? Any other thought why
I
you
think
want to join
good.
this course or why you have joined this course? Yeah. Please go ahead.
I think good morning, Jayant. So
Good morning, Jen. Yeah.
more than learning, we wanted to know how we can use these concepts in real world.
Mhm. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah, because it has been nowadays used widely in cloud also. Like PL SQL
Mm,
is being used widely.
okay. Any other
So we
thought,
need to
anyone?
know, yeah, we need to know
Mm,
the different concepts of writing, like where it has to be used,
mhm.
like how we can optimize that, all those things.
Okay. We sure. We'll plan it.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other thought?
Like any
Okay.
new functions are something which introduced in the latest versions also. Just
Okay. Okay. Fine. Good. Mhm. Okay. Perfect. Now, here are the few job profiles. I will explain you everything about PL SQL. Why PL SQL? I know many of you are new to this, so you might be thinking, first of all, that I have learned SQL. Then what additional concepts Tanvir you are going to teach us in PL SQL? I know a lot of questions will be there. Okay, we'll try to understand one by one. For the below job profile, PL SQL is like a mandatory skill set. If you're going for data engineer, it's very much important. I can agree to a certain extent in few projects they might not be using PL SQL. To a certain extent, I can accept like many employees are working as a data analyst with the help of Excel only. Okay. So it doesn't mean they cannot tell that SQL is not required in data analyst. Correct. So data engineer is a job profile where, yeah, from my understanding, you must know PL SQL because this will help you to create data pipelines. Okay, what is the data pipeline and all those things? A different topic of discussion. Then we're going for SQL developer, going for ETL developer. Actually, why I've written this three job profiles because in this three job profiles, you are more or less involved in creating data pipelines, or in a simple term, you are more involved in loading data from one table to another table, or from source to the staging layer, or staging to integration, or integration to access layer. So this is the typical job of any data engineer, SQL developer, or ETL developer to load the data by applying business or ETL transformation logic. So that is why for this job profile, uh, PL SQL, you should know. Sometimes it happens in an interview, no? Maybe they will not ask questions from PL SQL. Sometimes it happens, okay. But if you know that, get a competitive edge. And then coming to data analyst. Nowadays, the trend has changed a little bit. They're expecting data analyst as well to know PL SQL. Okay, again, it's not mandatory for data analyst. Suppose if you have convinced with the help of SQL, so maybe to a certain extent they can bypass the PL SQL question. Or if you know the basics of PL SQL, that will work. Okay, but if you know PL SQL, at least the basics, so here you will get an edge for sure. Now you might be thinking that why the PL SQL will help data analysts and where. Okay, fine, data engineer, SQL developer, ETL developer, they can create the data pipelines. It will help them. But for data analyst, why? The reason is these days, no, many times the data analysts and the ETL testers, they will they will get SQL queries from the business analyst or sometime from the development team, and they have to do the reverse engineering from the query. They have to understand the requirement. I believe those who are working in the project, they might have experienced this. So that is why suppose sometime you have received a query which has PL SQL code, and if you don't know that, then how you will understand the requirement? Okay, that is where it is required, and with the same justification, It is needed for business analyst role as well. And for ETL or database tester. See, my suggestion whenever someone asks me about how to prepare for interview and all those things, so I always uh, recommend that you should plan everything. Always recommend to prepare what all things are possible, right? Why to take any risk? If you're going for interview, you should be mentally prepared as well as technically prepared. Okay, so my recommendation is what all is there in the scope, be prepared for it. Maybe it will take 1 more month. That is fine. Okay.
So Tanvir,
Huh.
hi, good morning, Monali
Yeah,
sir.
Monali.
Yeah.
Good
So,
morning. Yeah.
just wanted to understand that for data analyst, understood, because my expectation from this course is I really do not know what is PLSQL all about. So I'm kind of a person who doesn't know anything about this subject, PLSQL. So I'm
Mhm,
here to learn.
mhm.
But as a business analyst, see, like what would be the application? Like from what perspective is PLSQL can be used in a BA role? Because usually as a BA, we work on, like the requirement gathering, the tools for those, the understanding of the business scenarios, and so forth. So where does PLSQL come into practice in this particular domain? So data analyst, yes, I'm clear. But as a business analyst, where would it be applied?
Okay, good question. So uh, nowadays, no, the business analyst job profile, the expectation of client is you must be techno-functional. Earlier days, what happens? The business analyst means the person who knows about in and out about business. Suppose if you're working in a financial institution, so they will ask you questions related to the financial terms. What is fund manager? What is portfolio manager? Okay, what is the realized amount, unrealized amount, committed amount, transfer pricing fees? That means the domain terms they used to ask. Okay, so everything was working well. Then what happened? Suppose sometime if the client is facing some issue in the data, okay, the client has some report and the numbers on the report is not correct. So earlier means before 2000, I will tell 17, 18. Before 2020, I can tell the scenario was very different in the IT industry. Okay, and after 2020, a lot of things has changed. Okay. So earlier, what happened if the client is facing some issue in the report? Okay, so they will connect with the business analyst. Earlier, business analyst was the single point of contact for the clients. Nowadays, you could see like even development team are working
Mm,
closely with the client.
mm,
Testing team is also
mm,
working closely with the client.
right.
But earlier, no, the business analyst was the single point of contact.
Mm,
Okay. So if there is something wrong in the report, if the client is not convinced, they will connect with the business analyst that, hey, this number is not correct. Can you please look into it? Okay. Now, then the business analyst will forward that email to the development team that this number is not correct. So please look into it and tell me what is the reason and what are the fixes. Then development team quickly they will look into that, and if there is any fixes required, they will fix it, and all those cycle will happen. Testing team will test it. Okay.
mhm,
But sometimes, suppose on a particular day, development team is on leave. Maybe
mhm,
you have only one or two developers, they all are on leave. Okay, a special scenario I'm talking.
mhm,
Then the business analyst will tell to the client that, okay, we will get back to you tomorrow because our team is not available.
mhm,
And then the client will not be convinced because maybe that report is critical for them. And based on that report, they have to make some business strategy, right? So they cannot wait.
noted.
So then the scenario changed. The client started telling that no, we want someone as a business analyst that if there is some issue, at least he should find the root cause. At least if he cannot do the fixes, at least he should know how the data is getting populated from which layer to which layer. Okay. Or if the development team has written some code, at least he should read the code and he can understand it. Okay. So that is where the scenario changed. And now it is expected that the business analyst must be able to at least understand the code that if he has to do some root cause analysis, then
Mm,
he should be able to understand that, okay, in
understand.
code, what went wrong.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm,
Second scenario. you have a UAT environment, user acceptance testing, right? Generally in UAT, this is the definition of UAT, that the client side, one person, a stakeholder will be there. Okay, he might be the business analyst of the client side or anyone, but one person will be there from the client side. He will test your product or report or software, whatever you have created, and the business analyst from your team will be assisting him. Okay. Now, suppose you are working with the client in the UAT environment, you're testing something. And again, if something is not correct and your client has raised a question that, okay, why you have coded this, why you have implemented this logic, right? And again, if you don't know the code, then how you can help them? Because, like what has happened now, nowadays, even the client, they have a technical team. Okay, suppose if I'm working for Citibank, okay. So earlier what happens? Citibank blindly they will give all the requirement to my company, and my company they will start working on the requirement. The scenario is changing. The client will also be having a technical team. So you cannot make them fool. You cannot make stories. Okay. They will ask you the reason that okay, why you implemented this, why this logic, and all this blah blah blah. So that is the reason your business analyst has to be techno-functional. He must be having technical expertise as well. So that's why the business analyst, he should know PL SQL. But that in much in-depth PL SQL is not required, but at least he should be able to read the query. He should understand that what is happening in a procedure. If the development team has written some function, that what this function is doing, right? So that's what the business analyst should also know. And ETL database tester, again, I can tell to a certain extent nowadays it's mandatory because you are the one who has to test, right? And nowadays, the clients, they're expecting white box testing. It means if the development team has coded something, you should be able to test each and every loop condition, each and every control statement. If you don't know how the PL SQL code is working, how you will test it, right? So for these job profiles, it is very much required. And again, I will not comment anything about it now because I know that you will bombard me with the questions. Machine learning pipelines. Here as well, it has some participation. Okay. But here I am not telling only PL SQL. Many other things are also there. This is a complicated area. A lot of regression techniques you will implement. And in those regression techniques, what all stats you are implementing. Then if you're cleaning the data, you're checking the outliers. And so again, that will be required. So I will not comment anything about it now. So these are the job profiles that PL SQL is required. Okay. And I think you all are from IC, most of you. I think not most, all of you are from the SQL batch. So you all know my teaching methodology. So after each and every class, we'll share the assignment. I think few of you who are from 2022 batch or early 2023 batch. So you know that I used to share the recording on YouTube and we used to share the notes in the WhatsApp group. But I think for the last 6 months, we have changed the scenario. So now we have our learning management system. So on that, we used to take class. So the benefit of it, it's not a complicated thing, very simple only. There is a link, we will share you the link. You have to register on it. Okay. And the benefit of it, they will get one-stop shop. It means in that you will get your recording, classroom notes, workbook, assignment, everything will be there only. Earlier, when we used to share on the WhatsApp group, so you have to keep a track of it, correct? Sometime if you have missed, then again you will ask us that, okay, can you share this and all those things. It was a little bit hectic. So now on that platform, you will find everything and this is the same page, date, wise date. So you don't have to keep it track. Okay, and this will be lifetime access. Hope you got it so far. So good. Everything is clear. Oh,
Yes, Tanveer.
hope it is clear everything. Now, before I proceed, any question? Okay, no questions. Now, can you raise your hand, guys? How many of you know PL SQL? Basics or whatever it may be. Can you raise your hand quickly? Jayant, okay, 1, 2. Only 2 participants, okay. No one has logged on PL SQL. Okay, no issues. We'll start from scratch then, okay? But my expectation is that you, at least I know, like you might have not revised SQL, but at least you must be knowing all those concepts. And wherever if it is required, I will revise it, not an issue. Okay, but the SQL is a prerequisite here. You should know that. Okay. But again, don't worry if you have not revised or you have forgot some concepts. So I will quickly revise it. Not an issue. Okay. Now the question is why PL SQL, right? Why we should learn PL SQL? This job profiles is fine, but what additional thing we are going to learn in PL SQL that you must be thinking, right? The reason is your SQL language. Now revise the SQL concepts. If you remember in SQL, what we have studied, we have studied to create table, to insert data. And then after that, whatever we have studied, maybe your set operator, your aggregate function, joins, window function, CT, subquery, whatever. The main intention was to extract data from the table. Correct? No? You're writing some query and you want to extract data. That was the main intention. Correct? You're writing select and then you're writing some logic where you are extracting data. So actually SQL is limited to that only. It can only extract data. Whatever logic you want to implement, SQL is very smart there. Okay, you can implement logics. Okay, it has a lot of functionalities. Okay, so it can give you the data, whatever you want from the database. Okay, now suppose in each and every company, we have employees like one set of employees are like you will tell them that okay, you have to do this task. You will guide them step by step. So they will do that task. Generally, the task of an accountant or clerk, right? In a bank or any other organization. So they have a repeated task. Correct? No, means they will come to office. They know that okay, I have to do this, do this, do this. They will do that task. It's a repeated task. Okay. And then there are some other set of employees like manager in a bank. So they know that in which condition what to do, in which scenario what they have to do. Okay, or if they have to take some other steps, they know that. So it means they have some better intelligence. So that is the benefit of PL SQL here. That is why the name is procedural language. Okay. Here in SQL, you don't have the feature that you can instruct SQL that okay, if you're getting data from this, then keep this data in some other table and from there do this operation and then create this loop. Okay, that is not there in the SQL. It means if you want to control the statement of it, you cannot control it. You cannot create loop. Recursive CT is there, you can create loop, but again, it has some limitations. So in PL SQL, you have this benefit that you can create a loop, you can instruct SQL engine that okay, you do this task, then after this you have to do this task, then take this data. Okay, in this query, take the filter condition from this place, from this variable. Okay, it's like a more intelligent servant you are getting now. Okay, and whatever you will instruct, he will do. But apart from that, you can instruct him some conditions as well. So based on the conditions, he will remember what to do and it can take some other actions. But SQL is more like a robot. You will write a query, it will execute it, it will throw the output to you. Okay, but with that output, if you want to reroute it to some other query, if you want to, within that query, if you want to run any other previous query, it has certain limitations, right? So that is the reason we have this PL SQL. Is that clear? At least you got some idea why we are learning PL SQL. Okay, that is why the name is procedural language. You can create a process here. You can instruct SQL engine that what to do after this, after that. And this feature was lacking in SQL. So that is why we have this PL SQL now. Any question? I know just with this
No.
theory, you will not be convinced that much. So down the line, you will see the examples and then it will be more clear. But this is what. And again, this is case, like case sensitive with reserved keywords and insensitive with data. It's same way. So we'll not write the case part. Here, whatever program we will write, okay, that is divided into blocks. Now, what is blocks? All those things we will discuss down the line one by one. Okay. Here, the blocks, whatever I will teach you, they're nothing but the programming units. And this feature in PL SQL means it will give this advantage in PL SQL. Okay. Net in a very simple term, I can tell that this will enhance SQL capabilities. Okay, with procedural features. So at a very high level, I will not go into that verbose discussion now that PL SQL can do this, can do that, because you will not be convinced until and unless I'm not proving it. Correct? Any question? Any question? No. Okay. Now, like in Oracle, I used to teach an Oracle Live SQL, correct? And that was very helpful because even if you don't have official laptop, you can just go into the browser and you will type Oracle Live SQL in Chrome or Edge anywhere. And you have to create an account and you can start coding there. It was very helpful. And those who don't have personal laptop, so for them as well, it was very helpful. Or if you're working in office, if you have free time, you can start practicing it. I've never told you to download anything in there. Okay, although I have mentioned that if anyone is interested, they can download SQL Server or Oracle. Okay, but never told that it is mandatory. But here in PL SQL, listen very carefully now. Okay, this is very important part which I'm going to explain you now. In PL SQL, you cannot code it in Oracle Live SQL. Okay, to a certain extent, few of the codes will work, but most of the features, the free version Oracle Live SQL, it doesn't have that. So that is why we will not do coding on the Oracle Live SQL. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. For that, you have to download Oracle database. You could see this database is there now. My screen is visible to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you have to download it as step one. Now you might be thinking how to download and all those things. I will guide you with that. Don't worry. Okay. Before that, can you raise your hand or can you tell me how many of you have already downloaded Oracle SQL Developer in your personal laptop? So, Yamuna, Rishad.
Sir, only
Yamuna, can I
Oracle
ask
or
you that? Yeah, tell me.
only Oracle or MySQL will be also okay.
No,
Sorry,
MySQL,
SQL
not
Server.
Oracle. SQL Server is different. I'm asking about Oracle SQL Developer, the one which is at my screen now, Oracle SQL Developer.
Okay.
I'm not asking about Microsoft SQL Server. That is different here. That will not work here because that is the Microsoft vendor. Here, this PL SQL works only on Oracle vendor. PL SQL is exclusive to Oracle only. So it will work on Oracle platforms only. Okay, anyone who has downloaded, this is very important step. That is why I am asking. If you not understand this step, you will struggle at a later point of time. Anyone who has downloaded this, you could see at my screen, Oracle SQL Developer. Anyone who has downloaded it in your personal laptop? No. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's in my personal laptop.
It's there. Okay. So when you have downloaded it, Yamuna? Means
When
when means if you remember 1 month, 2 month, 1 year, 2 years, something like that.
when I joined SQL course, that was last year March.
Okay. Last year, March. Okay. Okay. So is it working? Are you able to execute query there?
Yes. I created a test connection and I'm using from that time
Ah,
same.
okay. Okay, good. If it is working, then it is fine. No issues. Now,
Yeah.
for others who has not downloaded it, Oracle SQL Developer, you have to download. But listen very carefully. Don't download it. I will give you a step-by-step instruction how to download it. Why I'm alarming you here? Because the download process here is not that much complicated. It is simple only, but there are few steps where you have to be very careful. Okay. If you will miss those steps, then what will happen? This will be downloaded in your laptop, but it will not work. And then you will struggle that why it is not working. You will do a lot of checks, you will Google, but nothing will work. Okay. Maybe you can explore it. I'm not telling that it's rocket science, but it will kill your time. And maybe you will be feeling frustrated that exploring all those things, why it is not working. You have downloaded, why it is not working. It happens. Okay. That is why I'm telling you have to be very careful here. You have to understand each and every step. So we will create a recording, and we have created actually we are editing it, and maybe after 1 or 2 hours, once today's class is over, we will share that to you. But before that, please don't do it on your own. Please don't download it on your own, because if it will struck now, then what will happen? It will not work. And then after that, you will think that, okay, Tanvir, if it will not work, I will uninstall and I will install again. Okay. Everything I will tell you, Jen, don't worry. Do not to install it as well possible, but that also you have to do, Jen. I will explain that. I will come to that one by one. So we will send you the recording, how to download it. You have to be very careful and do that step by step. If by mistake, if you have missed something or if you have not followed the naming convention, it will be downloaded, but it will not work. And then if you will think that, okay, I will uninstall it and I will install again, that what will happen? It is not a simple uninstallation that you will go in the applications and from there right click, you will uninstall. No. When you will download it, no, it will create a lot of other files. Okay, like an environment variable, it will create a path. Then in the registry, it will create some path. So you have to delete it from each and every place. And by mistake, if you have deleted some incorrect files which are not supposed to be deleted, then it can crash your system as well. Maybe if you have comments in your D drive or E drive, everything will be deleted. That is why I'm alarming you here. So be careful here. Okay. Is that clear to everyone? So we will tell you the steps how to do that. Please follow those steps one by one. If you're getting stuck at one step, don't proceed further. And don't skip any step. If you're getting any error message at a step, sometime it happens, we will skip it, we'll go to the next step. Don't do that. So far, so good. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. One question, sir.
I
No
guess.
similarity with of PL SQL in SQL Server, and how is it from Oracle? Sorry if I missed. I joined late. Sorry.
No issues. So in SQL Server, the PL SQL equivalent is known as TSQL. Okay. That is a little bit different. Okay. So PL SQL is it works on Oracle only. If you try the PL SQL code on any other platform database like SQL Server, Postgres, or any other platform, it will not work. It works only on Oracle. So that is why most of the companies who has this data engineering part and all those things, so they'll be using this Oracle platform. Okay. Hope I answered.
Yes, sir. So this course is purely of Oracle PL SQL only.
Purely Oracle. Yes. Purely Oracle. Okay. Maybe once if you'll get an understanding of everything, procedures, functions, all those concepts, then maybe by end I will show you the that how it is similar to T-SQL and all those things. But now I will not cover that. It will confuse you guys. So we'll start strictly with PLSQL only.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, and this works only on Oracle window. No problem. Any other questions so far? Anyone? Okay, no questions.
So Ranveer,
Ah.
sorry, Ranveer. So Ranveer, so the PLSQL is exclusive for Oracle only. So actually, I'm currently working in the T-SQL only. So learning this course will be helpful for me.
T-SQL, that's what I told you. The course, whatever I will be covering here, this will not work on my SSMS SQL Server. Okay. This will work on PLSQL Oracle platform only. But yes, many things are similar to that only. That as well. T-SQL as well. Okay. But that I cannot tell you exactly now how much and what all things. Okay, then we will distract a little bit. But if you are working in T-SQL, okay, in your project, so then you have to understand the equivalent keywords, the functionalities, okay. But it's not like they both are very different. Okay, this will of course help you to understand that those codes as well. Okay, but yes, straight answer. I'll be focusing on PLSQL in this course. Okay. Any other question? Any other question, anyone? No questions? Okay, now suppose you have downloaded this Oracle SQL Developer. Okay, then you will get some page like this. Okay. Here on the left side, this will show you the different tables, whatever you have created, the views and all those things. This one. Okay. And then here you can make connections. I will tell you one by one all those things. Okay, because right now, if I will tell you, maybe you will not remember it. But this is the area where you can code, you can write your code. So now we'll start with the coding part. Before that, okay, one minute. PL/SQL, the codes which you will write, inside that, more or less, we are using SQL queries only. That is why I told that you have to be good in SQL. At least you should know the basics. Okay. It has blocks. You have something like declare. What is this declare? Why we are doing? We'll discuss all these things one by one. Don't worry about that. Then we have something like begin and something like exception. Okay. Then you have end. So generally, the PL/SQL code will be written within these blocks. Declare is one block, or you can tell this is one section. Begin is one block, or you can also tell this is one section. Exception is one section or block, and is another section or block. Okay. So every PL/SQL block, okay, whatever you will write, it has this sections. Okay. Now, what is the significance of this sections? We will discuss it. Right, got it. Now, what is mandatory? What is optional? I will not tell now. Leave that. We'll discuss all those things slowly one by one. Suppose I am writing here v_test. So I think those who are from the programming background, maybe Python or C or any other programming background, you might have heard about variables, right? So variables are like a placeholder. I was covering this in the kids coding classes as well. And for them, I told variables are like a carry bag so that they can understand it. Why I told variables are a carry bag? Because generally in carry bag, you can save something, you can store something, right? You can keep something. If you're going for shopping, you need a carry bag so that whatever you have bought, you can keep it there and it will be safe, right? So similarly, in the programming world, a variable is nothing but like a carry bag, or in technical terms, I can tell it's like a placeholder where you can keep something. Hope it is clear. You might be thinking why we need variable, why we need carry bag. So all those things will be answered one by one. So here this v underscore test, whatever I have written, this is a variable. And again, it is not necessary that you have to write v underscore, your wish. You can write test as well. You can write testing as well. Any name you can give. You can write A, you can write B, your wish. Writing this as v underscore test. It's a good practice to always start variable with v underscore, so that we would understand that, oh, this is a variable. I know many of you are new to the programming world. If you have learned SQL, it doesn't mean you have studied programming world. Programming world is a little bit different than SQL. SQL is a query language. Okay, and that is why in SQL you might have seen nowhere I have mentioned anything about variable, right? We have not used that. And that is the benefit of PL SQL. You will be getting benefit of variables here, which was lacking there. So here I'm declaring a variable whose name is v underscore test. Okay. And please feel free and ask question, make the session interactive. Don't worry, whatever question is coming into your mind, please feel free and shoot that question. Okay. Now, if you remember when I was teaching you SQL, there when I created table, after that, I have inserted data, right? Sorry, while creating table, I written create table, and then I have mentioned the column names, correct? Suppose if I'm creating employee table, so I have written there employee ID, employee name, their location, salary, whatever it may be. Then if you remember, I have also mentioned there the data type, correct? So with the help of data type, you can, I will take an ad hoc session on data type actually. I thought it because data type is again very big world, very interesting as well. That why we need data type, how it helps the SQL engine, your interpreter or compiler, whatever it may be. I will take an ad hoc session in the alumni group and discuss it. So variables are like placeholder if you are talking in technical terms, or in a layman term, I can tell variables are nothing but the carry bag where you can store something. Okay. After each and every variable, you have to mention the data type. Okay. Suppose I'm writing here varchar 50. I'm starting with the same one and I'm trying to correlate it with the SQL, whatever we have studied, so that it will be easy for you to understand. The same way how we have studied Python. Most of the keywords, whatever I have covered, I have tried to show you the equivalent analogy in SQL world, because you know SQL and you can correlate and you can understand in a better way. So here I'm telling SQL engine. I will remove these things because I have not covered it now. So we'll discuss this after that. But yes, PL SQL is more or less a game of blocks only or sections only. Okay. So first section is declare. Here you are declaring what all variables you want to use. This is mandatory. Sorry. Okay, mandatory optional I will not tell now. Leave it. So this declare section is there. You have to write declare. And again, this declare you can write in uppercase, lowercase, your wish. I will show you all those scenarios. And here this is a variable v underscore test I have written. Then after that, I have mentioned the data type varchar 50. You might be thinking, can I use integer, number? Yes, sir. You can use all those data types, whatever is there in SQL. Okay. Then you have to write colon equals to, suppose I will write here TechNest Academy. And you have to give semicolon at the end. But I repeat, sorry, I'm repeating it. Please don't install Oracle SQL Developer now. If you will struck, it is very difficult to uninstall it. Steps are simple, only 4 steps are there to uninstall. But in few scenarios, means if you not uninstall it properly, you will end up in installing some other important files, and that can make your system unstable. So please don't install it now. wait for our instruction. We are working on the recording. We'll share that with you. Then only please try this. Then only you have to install it. Okay. So this is declare section. This is a variable. This is the data type of this variable. And this is the value I have saved in this variable. Okay. Now, then you have this begin section. Write this in uppercase just a minute.
So colon after every statement is important in PL SQL world?
It's important. This is mandatory, sir. If you will not write it, no, maybe you remember in Oracle Live SQL when you have when I have taken class. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
in each and every batch, participants has asked that Tanvir colon is important, mandatory or not. I have told that in Oracle Live SQL it is not mandatory, but make it a habit of putting it here because in most of the database it is required, right? But
Yeah,
here
yeah.
it is mandatory. If you will not keep it, it will throw error message.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
This
One question.
colon equals to
colon.
is specific to Oracle or
PL
the way
SQL
we
is specific to Oracle only. Yes, it's specific to Oracle. Now, see, I know
So-
many of you are getting this question. Yeah, tell me.
so we can also use in SQL Server, no, Tanvir? PL SQL.
No, you cannot use this in SQL Server. I think you have joined now. I have covered this earlier. This will not work
Okay.
on SQL Server. For SQL Server, you have T-SQL.
Okay.
I repeat, the equivalent counterpart of PL SQL in SQL Server is T-SQL. Okay, and similarly, every database, okay, they have their PL SQL component because see, it's a very simple thing. I will tell you.
Okay.
Microsoft, they have this Microsoft Office. They have Excel and many other applications. Similarly, Google, they also started at Google Worksheets, right?
Right.
Microsoft partner OpenAI, they started that ChatGPT. Then Google, they also started Bard. Correct?
But
So
yes.
similarly, Oracle has this PL SQL. Microsoft, they have T6. There are
Okay.
some differences. Many of the things are same. Okay, we can correlate it at a later point of time. Okay, but the straight answer is these codes will not work on SQL Server. Okay.
Okay.
So if anyone is thinking that Tanvir, okay, I've already installed SQL Server. Do I need to install Oracle SQL Developer? Yes, mandatory. And that is what the installation part is tricky here. And you have to do it. And you have to be very careful with the installation. That is why when I was starting this course, I was planning it. So my colleague was telling me that Tanvir, I'm sure participants will get a lot of issues here and they will ask questions. That is why we thought that no, we will create a recording and we will mention in the recording step by step. So at least we can minimize the issues, whatever they will face to a certain extent. That is why I alarmed you there that be careful while the installation. Okay.
So, but the blocks are same, right, everywhere? Like
Just
declare begin.
give me 1 minute. I don't want to discuss on it. I need some time. Okay, we will
Yeah,
distract
sure.
from the topic. Maybe after the class, or you call me personally, we will discuss it because I know I will be distracted. We will start discussing something different. Okay. Okay. So in Microsoft extension is T-SQL. Okay. Then yeah, there are some differences are there. Like if I'm talking about the database platform, PL SQL is with Oracle database, whereas T-SQL is used with Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. Syntax, if you're asking, so while both the languages has same, they will use their standard SQL only, whatever I have taught you. Okay. So, but they have unique syntax and features. PL SQL, they have features like packages, triggers, exceptions, right? Records, okay, which are specific to Oracle. Similarly, T-SQL, they have the unique set of functions. Okay, they have the window functions and system stored procedures. That is a little bit different. Okay, again, your T-SQL has, if you're going in the transaction control statements, they have different approach to that. Okay, they have some unique commands and unique behaviors which are not found in PL SQL then. That is why I'm telling you it is right now, it is difficult for me to tell you the exact answer for that. In the SQL, when I was teaching SQL, I know many of you have asked the same question and then I answered that 99% it is same, and I think you all have explored it and you have discovered that yes, it was same, right? Hardly 1 or 2% difference was there. Like minus doesn't work in SQL Server. There you have that except keyword. Then similarly, few more differences were there, like is null doesn't works there. Then you have different keyword there. Okay, that was simple. But here there are differences. So that is why I cannot tell that yes, this code can be executed on SQL Server. And then error handling, there is a concept of error handling. So PL SQL uses exception handling for errors. They have that. Whereas in T SQL, which is on SQL Server, it has a different combination. Okay, try catch blocks are there. Here you have a straightforward exception block. Okay, and then again, the variables data types is different, cursor usage is different, performance is different. Okay, a few differences are there. And yes, remarkable differences are there. Okay. Hope it is clear so far.
Yeah, Tanvir, one question just colon equal to is basically equivalent to kind of equal to in SQL what we do, right?
Yes,
Simon.
correct. You are right. Colon equals is nothing but equal to. I'm telling, like in mathematics, we used to write no x equals 10. So in PL
Yes.
SQL, you have to write x colon equals 10.
Okay.
Like this only. Okay. So it means I'm assigning value of TechNest Academy, and this variable, I'm storing this value. Those who are not from the programming world, you might be thinking why you are storing this. So I need some time to answer it. Hope it is clear.
Yes, thank you.
See, actually, the thing is, if you remember when I was teaching you SQL, few of you have asked question that then we in many SQL courses they start with DDL, DML, but you are teaching that at the last. Why? Because if I will start with the DDL and I will tell you data definition language, you have create, alter, drop, truncate. Then you will ask me, what is create, Tanvir? What is alter? What is drop? What is truncate? How you can tell that create comes under DDL? How you can tell that alter comes under DDL? If you don't know what is create, alter, drop, truncate, and I will forcefully try to inject you in your mind will not accept it. So what I would first of all I explained that okay, create will do this, alter will do this, drop will do this, truncate will do this. Then easily you understood that oh okay, that is why it is known as data definition language. And this create, alter, drop, truncate, they have the power to modify the structure of the table or the definition of the table. That is why we are categorizing them under DDL bucket, right? So during means whatever I teach, I don't want to forcefully inject into your mind that no, you have to accept it because this is the rule, this is the concept. No, you must realize it. Then you will feel it that oh, okay, this is the reason. But that is why many things are there which I cannot start bombarding you right now. I want you to feel it. So that is why many things which are supposed to be explained now, but I don't want to explain now. I want to show you each and everything with the proof. Okay. So hopes it is clear so far. So why we need variable? Again, I need some time, then I can tell you why. Those who are from that programming world, they would have understood that, oh, variable, they know why we need variables. Okay. One more thing, one more a special feature about stored procedures, or I will tell PL SQL. You can reuse it again and again. Like suppose I have written here some 100 lines of code, something I have written. This is having 100 line of code. Okay. Then this entire 100 line of code. Okay. I will keep it in some bag, suppose some carry bag or some other package. And then when I will tell the SQL engine that I want to reuse it, it will remember it and I can reuse it. Then you will be thinking that Tanvir used to do the same thing in CT as well. You will write with CT1 as, and you're writing some code here within this, right? And then Tanvir writing some code here. You have some where condition, blah blah blah, and then you are using it here. I totally agree. I'm using it here, but suppose if I have 5-6 CTs, and again I have written some other CT expression. There I want to use this CT. I cannot use it. Again, I have to write each and everything one by one. But PL SQL has this feature. You write a piece of code, maybe it can be 10 lines, 100 lines, 500 lines. You just save it in the SQL engine with some name, whatever name you want, you keep it and save it. SQL engine will remember it. And if you want to use it after 1 month, you just tell SQL engine, that please execute. Suppose the name of that package is testing 123. So a SQL engine will remember, oh, testing 123 Tanvir has created long back. And in this testing 123, he has written some code. And the task of this code was to extract data, to manipulate, to do all these things. It will execute it for you. This is again one of the important feature or the benefit of PL SQL. You can reuse it again and again. Now suppose you have created one more package, which name is testing 456. Okay. And you are telling SQL engine that this testing 123 package will give some output, and testing 456 has to use that output. So you can do that as well here. Got it? These are the few benefits that we use PLSQL, procedural language.
Sir, can you repeat the
means-
last point? Sir, can you
Sorry?
repeat the last point, sir?
Last point, I just told that you have written some piece of code, 100 lines, 200 lines, or 10 lines, 20 lines. You can save it somewhere with some name. Okay. And whenever you want to use it, you just tell to the SQL engine that I want to use this, execute it. Engine will execute it. But suppose if I have written, you might be thinking, Tanvir, I can do the same thing using CT. Yes, you can do that. You can write 6, 4, 5, 6 CTs. But do you think you will store it and tomorrow if you will call that, engine will remember it? No, it will forget it. Once the session is logged out, it will forget it. But here, if in PL SQL, it will remember it. Even after 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, if you will tell, it will execute it. And you don't have to write each and every 100 line of code again. That is one of the benefits. Then you have multiple functions are there. You can take the output of this. You can use in some other functions. That is also allowed here. That is one of the important benefit of PLSQL. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Any other question?
Yeah. We have these things in PLSQL, but we have stored procedure, views, and all these things
Correct.
in SQL as well. Then what is the difference in this one and in the normal SQL one? If we will compare stored
Normal.
procedure of PLSQL
Uh-huh.
and normal SQL, then what is the difference? Because I think all these
See,
things we have in SQL as well.
this we have in SQL. Yes, we have that. Good question you have asked. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me show you something for that. Just 1 minute. Good question. Just a minute. Suppose this is the solution. Okay. To a business problem I'm working, and this is the solution. This is the code. I'm just taking one random example. I executed this code and I will get the output. Okay. Now suppose I will log out, then this will be deleted from the database. Suppose I want after 1 month, my client has given me a requirement, and in that requirement, I have to use the same code, same query. Then again, I have to write this query from scratch. Correct? In PL SQL, the benefit is you can save this query. You can assign some name to this. You can save it. And then suppose I will assign the name of this as testing 123. And I will save it as testing 123. So here you will get a name testing 123 here. And then the next time when I have to reuse the same code, I will not write this code or I will not copy it from somewhere. I will just tell my SQL engine that execute testing 123. The SQL engine will remember, oh, this is the function which Tanvir has created. He wanted me to execute it again. It will execute it. That is the benefit. One simple benefit I'm telling you.
But we
suppose
can
you
also
have
store
written-
in. Yeah, sorry, sir. We can also store in .sql file, right? We can also execute the same file. Why do you need to store a
yes.
separate?
.sql file, good. That okay, Tanvir, I will run it and I will save that in .sql file. It will be saved here. Okay, I agree. But suppose the output of this this particular feature, the output of this you want to use in some other query, then how you will use that? How you will use? That is not possible. Suppose you have one more query here. Let me show you. I suppose this is another query. This has another table. Suppose this is customer table. Now suppose this table, it needs, sorry, this query, it needs the data of this query. How you will populate it? You don't have that feature here. If you will execute this query, it will just give you the output. Its task is over. If you will execute this query, it will give you the output. Its task is over. But in PL SQL, suppose if this query output you want to use in this query, that also you can do here. That is also one of the benefit of PLC.
But Tanvir, if we
You can
keep it
you
in the
can
city,
1 minute. 1 minute. You can reuse a code again and again. You have written a code, you can save it and you can reuse it whenever you want again and again. Okay. Yeah, what you're telling?
if we keep this code in CTE, then we can reuse it, right, in the SQL as well. Then
You can reuse it in CT, yes, correct. But CT is again, everything is temporary here.
okay,
Correct.
yes.
These
But
things are
sir,
not
we
permanent.
can store this query in view as well, na? In SSMS, we can use in view and we can just run it.
Views,
Yeah.
views you have in SQL as well. You can
Yeah.
create a views as well on top of it. But
Correct.
again, suppose you have lot of other conditions are there, many flows are there. So again, you cannot implement that in views. Okay, so it also has some limitations. So that is what I'm telling. We will see all those things. I will show you. Because right now, just by theory, if I will try to prove, you will not be convinced. Okay, like
Okay.
how in CT, I told you in the beginning, that's okay, just understand the definition of it. Then slowly you will realize that, oh, what is the power of CT? And then you might have seen that most of the complex query, even on the LinkedIn, whenever I post any query, you will see that most of the queries I am solving using CT only. Then you would have realized that, oh, this is the power of CT. You can break the question in multiple chunks and one by one you are solving it. Okay, hope it is clear.
Okay. Yeah.
I know, I totally know. That is what I told. Until and unless something is not proved, our brain doesn't accept it. And that should happen. So I need some time. Okay, we'll
Okay, sir.
take it one by one. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, so far. Then what I was telling. So this is clear. Now, in SQL, now suppose if you will tell, okay, fine, then we're in this variable v underscore test, you have this value. Can you please display this? So in PL SQL, if you want to display something, you have to write this dbms underscore output put underscore line. I know this is very big sentence, but yes, this is what you have to use. And then you give semicolon here. And then you have to write end. The meaning of this entire piece of code is you have a declare section. In declare, you have to declare the variables, what all you will be using it, their data type, value, what you're going to store. And then this is a begin section, or it is also known as begin end block. In this block, whatever you want to display, you have to write it here and it will be displayed. I totally agree. You might be thinking just a simple task and a lot of steps, Tanvir. Oh my God. Don't worry about that. Don't think from that angle. This is the introduction, the simple code I am showing you. Okay. If you want to display something like in Python, if you want to display something, you will be write print, correct? But here that is not the scenario. It also has print feature, but it has different use case. Net, if you want to print some variable, you have to write this entire statement. You might be thinking this is a very big statement I have to write just to print something. But yes, it is because the dbms underscore output is a package. And in that package, I'm using this functionality. That's a different topic of discussion. We'll discuss all these things. Okay. Now I'm trying to execute it. I will click on this. You could see here green color button, right? Is that visible?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sorry. So I clicked on it. Let me delete this one. This will confuse you. 1 minute. Select this, click on this green color button. You see the output is Test Academy. And here it is showing PL SQL procedure successfully completed. So we have written a small PL SQL code here. Okay. Sometime when you will practice, maybe you will not get any output. So in that case, what you have to do, you have to write here set server output on. It means you are telling SQL engine that please display whatever I'm trying to execute in the PL SQL code. You have to execute it. Then you have to run it. You have to execute it only once. Don't think that every time you have to execute. Suppose today you are starting working on PL SQL, just execute it once. It is like a setting you are doing. The engine will understand that our user is telling me to display the output. So now when you will execute it, will give you the output. So now see here, TechNest Academy is displayed. So here I have just shown you that in this PL SQL code, we have a declare section. Here I am using a variable. It has a data type. And this is the value TechNest Academy have saved in this. In the begin section, I'm trying to display this. Within this, I have written v_test. It means I'm telling SQL engine whatever I have saved in this variable v_test, please display that. So I have saved TechNest Academy in this variable. Engine has displayed it here. Any question?
What we will call this dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, like is any like package something, or like what we call this?
Here dbms underscore output is a package. So from this we are using this part put underscore line, which will display the value here.
Sir, one
Kind
question,
of
sir.
predefined
Sir,
set of
this is
operations.
one like a print statement in a Python, na? Same as.
You can tell that yes, it is same as that. That is what I told you. In Python, we use print to display something. Here in PL SQL, if you want to display something, you have to write this. Okay. But yes, you might. That is why I told in the beginning. You might be thinking, "Oh my, such a big statement I have to write." Right? In Python, you just have to write PL print. Okay. Unix scripting, you have to write echo. Correct. But yes, here you have to write this. The reason is this dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, whatever I have written here, it's a procedure. Now, if I will tell you procedure, you will ask me what is procedure. That is why I don't want to trigger that discussion now, because I have not explained you what is a procedure. Okay. But yes, this is a procedure in Oracle's PL SQL. It is used to display something in the output. So net for the time being, just understand that, okay, I have to display something, I have to write this statement. That's all. Okay. And this is because we are just starting the course. So I'm telling you this is for the display, but when you will write complicated course, so it will help you for debugging as well. Okay, how it will help you for debugging purpose, we will discuss at a later point of time. Okay, so net this dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, whatever I have written, it takes a string argument and it will print it, whatever you will tell at the output console. And that is what you see, the value is getting printed here. Okay. Hope it
Is
is
it a
clear.
procedure or is it a class calling a method?
It's a procedure here. Okay.
This package might be having a lot of features, right? From that, we are kind of using put underscore line.
Correct. You catch it. Yes. Hope it is clear.
Yes.
Let me show you one more use, because I know we are just started. So and totally, these all questions I totally accepted, guys. No issues. I have full freedom to ask all these questions. You have just started. You might be having all these questions. This is accepted. So this is one piece of code. Well, let me show you. Actually, I should start from the simple one. I directly started teaching you variable. Let me show you one more. Okay. I have this begin section. Same thing. I will copy paste here. But this is simple, guys. PL SQL is not difficult. It is simple only. Hi everyone. And write hi everyone. Okay. Follow, and then I will end. End is mandatory. You should not leave it. This is another code. I have written begin, and then I am telling SQL engine that display hi everyone. If you want to display some message, same as Python, you have to keep it within inverted quotes. You see, I have written hi everyone, and I have kept it within inverted quotes. Then I have written end here. So in this small piece of PL SQL code, we are telling SQL engine to display this message, hi everyone. Okay, let's check it. Got it? Hi everyone. So whatever you will write within this, it will display that. If you will keep it within quotes, it will display that message. If you write like this, it is like a variable, and it will display the value of this variable. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is
Tanvir.
that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So just one thing, like semicolon at the end of our statement is also necessary, and at the kind of end of procedure also necessary. Both there, right?
This is mandatory. We have to write it very careful here. Okay.
Yeah.
Tanvir, one quick thing.
Now,
so in
yeah.
Python, let's say you declare something called as global variable, and that you can refer in any of the functions. So is it something similar, like you define one variable and that you can refer in any of the block?
Same thing is here. Same thing is here. But
So
the
can
global
you-
variable and look. Okay, yeah, tell me.
So can you refer Technist Academy here by vtest variable in the below block,
Give me some time.
second block?
Okay.
Okay.
I cannot tell now. Give me some time. Okay. I will show you that. I will assign a value in begin block as well. I will show you that. One by one, we will discuss it. Okay, but your question is valid, and the answer is yes. The same concept is applicable here as well. Okay. Now, next scenario. Suppose we have this piece of code, and this I have covered in the last class for the kids section. I was teaching Python to them. What will be the output for this?
Technist Academy.
Technist Academy.
No, sir.
No. Sorry. We underscore
test.
test.
Print
We underscore test.
Okay. You are okay. Got it. Yeah.
What will be the output for this?
We underscore test.
We underscore test.
We underscore test. Okay, good. Let me run this. We underscore test. Now, listen. Here I have kept this we underscore test within inverted quotes, right? So if you write something within inverted quotes, that will become a message. Now, this is no more a variable. You might be thinking that, Tanvir, this is variable. No, you taught here that the variable value, whatever you have saved, that will be displayed. I totally agree here. But the moment you write anything within quotes, that will become a message. Now, if you will claim here that, Tanvir, this is a variable, sorry, this is not a variable because you kept it within quotes. So now this is a message. That is why engine is displaying the message v underscore test. So SQL engine is assuming this, that okay, Tanvir wants me to display this message v underscore test, and that is why it has displayed it here. And same thing is there in Python as well. Is that clear? Okay, one thing I am giving you, I'm referring Python again and again, but don't worry that Python is a prerequisite here. No, Python is nowhere related to this. I'm just giving you the equivalence in Python so that those who knows Python, it will be easy for them to refer here. That is the reason. Otherwise, it is nowhere related to Python. Python is not a prerequisite for this course. So far, clear to everyone?
Yes, Tanvir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Quick feedback. I know I teach very slowly. So how is the pace so far? You want me to increase the pace or is it fine?
Yeah, Tanvir, it's fine because we're new to PL SQL. At least for mine, I'm new to PL SQL, so pace is good.
Okay.
Yeah, for me too. Like I'm new to this. So today, whatever you've taught, it's completely clear.
Yeah, okay.
For
Good.
me also, sir, this space is good.
This is fine. Okay, good.
For me also, like,
slowly,
it's nice.
slowly, once you will get a foundation, is basic understanding will increase that. It's not an issue. Based on your suggestions, but because see, this is new to you. I'm just starting it. Okay. If I will start bombarding with some heavy concepts, so maybe you will get confused. So let's start one by one. Okay. This is a basic thing. I know you might be thinking that, okay, just to display something, this lot of thing you have written. I will write in SQL this entire statement. I can do a lot of stuff there, right? I totally agree, but that is not the intention here. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. Now, next thing. Here, whatever I have shown you. Okay, so what is that? This one. This is known as in technical terms initializing a variable in declaration so here we are assigning a value to this variable. So in technical terms it is known as initializing. We are assigning a value, no? So this is known as initializing. So here I've assigned a value to this variable in this declare block. So it is known as we are initializing a variable in declaration section. So here I'm assigning value Technist Academy to this v_test variable in the declaration section. So we are initializing the value in the declaration section. And then in this begin section, we are executing it. We are showing you the output of it. Okay. Hope this is clear. And this is also known as execution section, this begin part. What is known as execution section? And we'll discuss later point of. Now, next example. Right now, don't think that why Tanvir, why you're doing that. Please don't think over that. You will not understand it. Just try to understand, okay, something is happening here, some definition we are learning. What is the benefit? Right now, you will not understand. It will take some time. Okay. Now, another example. We have this declare section. Suppose we have this v_test. And var 50 I will write here, and then I have this begin section. v_test.
Small question. Tanvir, is that the v test colon equal to is referred as colon in PL SQL world, or what is that?
It's colon only.
Colon. Okay.
Oh, this is interesting one. Let me execute it. Then I will explain you after that. I'm getting this. Let's learn PL SQL, right? Okay. This section is known as declaration section. Why we need this, that I will not answer now. This section is known as execution section. Actually, this is the main kitchen. And this is the dining table. When you visit, means when you visit some restaurant, so what happens? You will sit on a table, right? Chair. And then The waiter will be there. He will ask the menu, and then you will tell, okay, I need this, this, this. The waiter will go to the kitchen, and then they will start cooking whatever you will tell them, right? Similarly, this is the dining table. You will tell what you want and all those things. The variables, declaration, everything will happen here. This is the main kitchen. Okay. Here I am telling SQL engine that I want a variable v underscore test, and that this is the data type. But I have not assigned any value to this here. In this piece of code, I'm showing you that yes, it is possible. You can assign value in the execution section. This is also possible. Because here in this first example, I have done both the tasks in the declaration section. I have assigned a variable, I have assigned a data type, and I've assigned a value. Both the things I have done in the declaration section. In the execution, I'm just telling SQL engine to display the value v underscore test, right? That is what I'm doing in the execution. But here, I have splitted the task. Data type I'm assigning in declaration section. Values I'm assigning in the execution section. And I have shown you I'm getting the output. So from these two examples, suppose this is the program number 1 and this is the program number 2. So just I am highlighting here that yes, it is possible that you can assign a value in execution section as well. It's not mandatory that you can assign a value to a variable in declaration section only. It's not mandatory. It's your wish. You can assign a value in declaration section, or it can assign a value in execution section. It's purely your wish. What are the use cases where, in which scenario, where to assign values, whether in declaration section or whether in execution section? We'll discuss it. But this is what I'm trying to highlight here, that yes, both the options are available, and you got the output here, same output. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Simple only, right? Okay. Now. I think. Just a minute. Okay. So you will understand it. The Logarithm is trying to assign a value to this variable in execution section. This is also allowed. Okay. You have both the options. Okay. Now. So this I have shown you. This is looking okay. Now. Next scenario. Coming to this first program, we'll keep it here. This hyphen I'm giving so that when you will revise it, you can understand that, okay, these are the different codes which we have executed. Now here, I'm thinking that, okay, this execution section has a privilege that here we can assign value to a variable, even we can display, right? This execution section got both the privileges. Okay. Here I'm thinking that, okay, fine, I have assigned value, or I have initialized this variable v underscore test with this value in the declaration section. So I'm thinking that why to go for this execution section? Let's assign it here in the declaration section. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use it. It means I don't want to display the output in execution section. In declaration section itself, I want to do both the tasks, assigning value and displaying the value. I want to do this. What do you think? It will work? Any idea?
No,
No, sir.
not.
Not work. It
Possibly.
will not work.
It works.
It
Sir,
works.
it will work, sir.
It works.
It will work.
Okay. Okay. Good. We have mixed response. Work. It will not work. So if you're telling it will not work, why it will not work? Anyone?
You are giving in the declaration section, right? Only we have to declare.
Okay.
Okay, it will not work because we can do initialization and declaration in the declare section, but not the printing part maybe. Like the
Okay.
dbms underscore output that statement.
Good.
Sir, we
Let's
have
check
to
it. Yeah.
use the keychain, sir,
Hmm.
like the execution block. So then this code will work.
Okay. 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 ठीक है. Let me execute. Okay. Check the output. Oh, it has thrown error message, right? Engine has thrown error message. Correct. Okay. This code is not working. Engine has thrown error message. Why it has thrown error message? Just give me some time. Then I will answer it. Just keep on observing the things, whatever I'm showing you. Okay. You have to be little bit alert here. Leave it here only. This one. Let me execute this one. Execute this. Oh, again it is throwing error message. Declare this, it is throwing error message. Now, one more code I want to execute. Then we will summarize everything. Oh, it has also thrown error message. Okay. Now let me run this one. This is executed. Okay. Now. Okay. Now let's try to understand one by one. So this is the one piece of code I have written. This is another piece of code I have written. This is another piece of code I have written. This is another piece of code. Request to go on mute if you don't not asking any question. I'm getting some background noise. Okay, I have very weak concentration actually. See, I executed this code. Let's start from this. I executed this code and it has thrown error message. Right, it is in front of you. Okay. I executed this code and it has given me output PLSQL. I have written here PLSQL. Let me write PLSQL training. I executed this code and it has given me output. Over to you. I want you all to think over this, that why this code is working and this code is not working. Why? Share your
Because
thoughts. I'm not telling.
Because engine is not able to understand what to execute or what to print, what action to be taken. Maybe the reason.
In that block,
Okay.
it's there's no print. Nothing is being defined. That's why it's throwing error.
Okay. Good. Actually, this block begin and end. This is known as execution section, or it is also known as executable section. People, they have different terminologies, they use that. Okay. It is mandatory. If I have told you earlier that this section is mandatory, this is optional. That is why here, a slip of tongue, I told that this is optional, this is mandatory. Then I thought, no, it's not the right time to tell. Now, here, this section is mandatory, ladies and gentlemen. If you will not write anything within this section, engine will throw error message because engine is executing something here. Exactly in kitchen. If you're telling your mother to cook something, so you must be having some raw materials, right? Correct? Potato, tomato, spices, whatever ingredients are there, must be there. Same thing is if this is a kitchen, you must be having some ingredient. Now in this piece of code, here I added some ingredient here, it is working. I mean, this piece of code, I have not used any variable, nothing is there. Just I'm printing some message, it is working or not. That is what I want to prove here, that this is mandatory, sir. Whatever you write, even you print something, but something must be there. Then only this will work. Otherwise, it will throw error message. Exactly same like in your kitchen. If you want to cook something, you must be having some basic raw materials or ingredients must be there. Is that clear? So now if I will tell you this section is mandatory, will you agree or not?
Yes.
Is that clear, everyone? No, if you have any question, please feel free and challenge it. These are the basic things. This has to be crystal clear.
So declare
Clear to
block
everyone?
is yeah. So declare block is
come
not
to that.
mandatory. Okay.
Leave it. Declare, please leave it. I will come to that. Just after this, I'm coming to that only. Declare only. This part is clear. If I'm claiming that this is mandatory, you agree or not?
Yes, yes, Tanvir. We agree.
Agree? Okay, good. Now I will come to the declare only now. Just I'm coming to that only. So from this example, it is clear that, okay, fine. Then we understood that, okay, this execution section is mandatory. Even you see, within this, I have not written any dangerous sexual code. Nothing is there. Simple, I am printing it. So it means this is mandatory. Or let me show you one more example. Okay. One more example. Was it thrown any error message?
No.
No error message. This is a better example than this actually. In this execution section, do you have something? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I have this null. Nothing, just null is there. So engine will be happy that, okay, in execution section, I have some ingredient. Okay, fine. Okay. Is that clear? That clear, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I totally agree. You might be thinking, what is the use of this? I'm not talking about the use. I'm just telling, okay, something is there. Okay. So I will give you one very simple example. There was a story long back. There was a person whose name, okay, there was a lady. Okay. She was very poor lady. Little bit emotional story, but related to this only. Whenever I teach something, so something means real life incidents, I try to correlate it so we can understand in a better way. There was a poor lady. She was not having enough money to feed their children. Okay, and the children were crying like anything. And it was late night. The children were crying, and their mother was thinking what to feed, what to feed. She was not having enough money, no ingredients, nothing was there. So what she has done, she has taken some kitchen utensils were there. So and from somewhere she collected some log of wood or maybe some leaf or some paper, and she burned it. She kept that utensil on top of it, and then she added some water into it. Okay, and the water was boiling. So one thing is clear that she cannot feed that boiling water to the children, right? But the children were under the impression that, oh, their mother is cooking something, correct? They were under this impression, they were waiting very patiently. Although I know very emotional story. So that was happening here. Same thing is happening here. PL SQL is thinking that Tanvir is doing something here. Also, Tanvir is not doing anything here. I'm just giving PL SQL assurance that something is here. Don't throw error message. Is that clear? So this is to prove that execution section is mandatory. Something you have to keep it here. Then only it will give you the output. If nothing is there, see here, nothing is there, this will throw error message. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
Tanvir.
Tanvir. Yeah.
Here, so here you are giving assurance to PL SQL that yes, something is there. Although nothing is present here, this doesn't make any sense. I totally agree with you. But this is, I'm just proving it. Best example to prove that this is mandatory section. Okay, fine. Now coming to this one. Declaration section. No, okay, I'll come to that. Before that. Now I executed this query. This has thrown error message. So here you can tell that, okay, fine. Here, okay, can you tell me why it has thrown error message here?
In the declaration section, either we can declare or initialize a variable. That's it.
Execution
Cannot
flag is empty because execution section don't have it.
Execution section is empty. Nothing is there in the kitchen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Now you have to listen very carefully, guys. These are the basic things. Okay. Now I am executing this piece of code. Before that, tell me what is the difference between this second piece of code and this first piece of code? What is the difference? Suppose this is program 1 and this is program 2. What is the difference between program and program 2?
Program 1, there is no execution command there.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
We have a kitchen, so then we can cook the food.
Good. That is the only difference. In program 2, we have something here in the execution section. In kitchen, something is there, right? But here in the kitchen, nothing was there. Declaration section is common in both of them, right? Correct, no? Okay. I executed this one. It has thrown error message, program 1. Let me execute program 2 and let me check that. Oh my God, this is also thrown error message. Okay, now listen. Here we were under the impression that here in the kitchen nothing is there and that's why it has thrown error message. That is also fine. I totally agree with you. That may be one of the reasons. I totally agree because in the kitchen something must be there. I've shown you here at least you keep some null. Okay. But here in program 2, I have kept something in this kitchen. Still, why it is throwing error message? Now this is the question. The reason is, yeah, tell me.
Sir, no, you can go. I was also going to tell the reason.
Oh, tell me, go ahead.
Sir, like we have two print statements, like we have two output statements here.
So we can't actually cook the food in dining table, right?
Okay. Good. Very good example. Okay. Wahab, can you repeat what you have told?
Yes, sir. We have two output statements here. So maybe there is like a confliction.
Okay. Good thought. Wahab is telling that then we have two output statement, two DBMS you have used in the same query. So maybe this might be the reason. Okay. Good thought. So now you see I have removed that DBMS. I just kept null here. So now the kitchen is not empty. Something is there, right? So now let me check the behavior of this. Check the behavior. Oh my God. Still it has thrown error message. So I have removed that. Wahab, I have removed it. But still it has thrown error message. So it means that is not the reason, Wahab. Are you convinced?
Yes, sir.
And this is for everyone. I'm not only teaching to Wahab, this is for everyone. Wahab told that Tanvir, you have used 2 DBMS output in the same code. That is why I think. He was thinking, that is fine, appreciated. Okay, so I have proved it here that is not the reason. And you have full freedom to use any number of DBMS output line in your code. There is no restriction on it. Clear? Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now the question is, then why this is throwing error message? This one, this program 2, why? The reason is, I think Rizwan has told or who has told, I forgot actually. So you are serving. Okay, so you are serving at the dining table. You went in a restaurant. You told I want Manchurian. So they will cook it in the kitchen now. The waiter will not start cooking in the dining table. That is why this is not allowed in the declaration section. You cannot display something in the declaration section, or in a layman term, printing output in declaration section is not allowed. Is that clear? Is that clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes, Tanvir.
Yes, Tanvir.
Any question? No questions. Either okay. Today, I think at least I have started the basics. You understood. I will quickly revise it. So here we are talking about the different sections in PL SQL. This is the declaration section. Here you can assign a variable and the data type, and then value I have assigned here. Then in the execution section, I'm telling SQL engine to display the output of this variable. It has displayed output. Here I'm showing you that in the execution section, you can print some message as well. So if you will write something within quotes, it will become a message. If you want to print something, this big statement you have to write. Okay. Then here I have shown you that if this variable name, if you will keep it within inverted quotes, it will become a message. It will no more be a variable. So net conclusion is if a variable or anything within quotes will be a message. Okay. Now you cannot claim here that white is not giving me the output of this variable because this is within quotes. So this is a message now. Okay. Here we have discussed that in the declaration section, we have a variable, I have assigned a data type. But I'm showing you here that yes, it is allowed that you can assign a value. In technical terms, it is known as initializing the variable. So you can initialize a variable in execution section. That is also allowed. That is what I'm proving here. So in execution section, we have initialized this variable and it has accepted it. Then we have discussed this part. Here I'm telling you that in the declaration section, this is like a dining table. You cannot start cooking food here. So you cannot print the value here. In declaration section, it is not allowed. Then here I'm trying to prove the same thing. Okay, here I was proving you that the print statement, you have full freedom. You can use any number of times. There is no restriction on it. And here I have shown you that within execution section, at least you have to keep something. Even it is null, you have to keep something. This has thrown error message because in execution, you don't have anything. So from this, we prove that execution section is mandatory with the help of these 2 examples. We'll stop here and We'll continue tomorrow.
Can I see
Yeah.
one more flavor? Where
Yeah.
you have said, I don't want to declare anything in the declare section. I want to declare inside begin section. Can I do that?
That also you can do. Let's cover it tomorrow. Okay, because again in that I have few more scenarios as well. Okay, we'll discuss it. It's not over. Many scenarios are there in this only. Okay, then I will show you for number data type. Okay, if you're declaring in both the section, then what will happen? Many scenarios are there. Multiple variables. Okay, we'll discuss it one by one.
Sir, in the last one, we have not declared then, but then also we are getting the output. So is it not compulsory that we should declare?
Last one.
Yeah, here.
This one you're telling?
Yes, yes.
Here, that is what I have told here, that actually this begin end block, no, this is mandatory. Okay. So here I have not declared anything. You're right. Nothing, no variable, nothing is there. So just I have put null here. That is what I'm telling. Even something must be present here. You don't have any variable. That is fine. Chalega. No issue. There's no issue. But something must be there. That is what I'm showing you. Just I have written null. So engine will accept it. Okay, fine. In the declare execution section, you have kept something fine. If you will not write anything here, nothing is there, then engine will throw error message. See, it has thrown error message. It is not mandatory that you have to keep variable only. Oh no, that is not mandatory. It is again not mandatory that you have to display some message. No, the only condition is in execution section, something must be there. So your SQL engine will be assured that, okay, something Tanveer has kept. Like I told you, that is story of a mother boiling the water, right? Same thing. The children are having assurance that, oh, something is getting prepared and will be served. Okay, hope I answered.
Okay, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay. Any other question? And again, one thing, my humble request. Many times it will happen, you will ask a question and I will tell you that, okay, let's wait for some time. Okay, but all your questions will be answered, don't worry. But I have to follow a process. And because in few batches I have seen when I jump from one topic to another topic, because sometimes I think that, oh, this guy has asked question, let's answer it. And other people, they will be confused. That's why I have to follow a particular order. But yes, you have full freedom. You can ask any question. Okay.
Tanveer,
Okay.
do we have views concept in PL SQL? No.
Which concept? Views will be covered. I think it's not there in the syllabus.
Yeah, it's not there.
Syllabus में तो होना चाहिए ना. Syllabus में तो views होना चाहिए. अच्छा, views नहीं है. We'll cover it. I think I missed it.
One more thing is
shared this.
materialized view. Like, are you covering?
For views.
Do you have also concept of snapshots somewhere, Tanveer?
Snapshots, yeah, it will be covered here only. We'll cover it. Snapshot is simple thing. Okay, when you do that production refresh, you're taking a snapshots. I think you're asking from admin perspective, maybe not sure. We will cover it, no issues. Simple.
I mean, we
things.
use in work, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay. The database is a very big world, actually. Very big world. A lot of things are there to study. But
Then
fine,
in
we'll
this,
see it.
can you please add even partition if possible?
Partition, ठीक है. Right, partition.
And materialized view also, can you add like with indexes?
In views, that will be covered, yes. Materialized views will be there in views. Yes, it will be covered. That is one of the part of views. We'll cover it. Let me focus on this
One
first.
last
These are the
question.
core concepts. Okay. Let me focus on this. Let's cover this. We will look into those parts as well. Tell me.
Then we can have in the execution block, we can have more than one begin and end statement, right? Suppose first,
That is
first
also allowed.
execution
Yes,
has a
yes,
dependency
yes,
or
yes.
something.
Allowed, sir, allowed. Nested block, no, you're telling?
Yeah.
Allowed. We will show you that. Tomorrow, not possible. Maybe next week. We'll show you that. But yes, answer is yes, Jen. It is allowed. And there I will teach you then concept of global variable, local variable concepts.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Fine then, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. And before attending tomorrow's class, just quickly revise it. I will not share any assignment today. Just little Keep
Sir,
it light only today.
when
Revise
when
it.
we will get installation video, setup and installation.
Just in another 2 hours. It's 10 a.m. It's almost 10 a.m. now. So by 12, I will share that. Okay, we are working on it. We'll share that. But my humble request: do not try to install on your own. Or even if you are having some YouTube video, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure of how much. If you're referring any YouTube video for installation, I'm not sure what all steps they have covered. But if you trust, if you are sure that okay, this is good source, then you can refer it. Okay, your wish. Okay. But
So
my
this
suggestion
recording
is
will be
let's wait for
shared
2 hours. Recording will be shared.
on Graphy
Same
or
format.
here itself?
No, today it will be on YouTube only. Okay. Today and tomorrow I will keep it on YouTube because many of the participants they are not used to that graphic. So maybe tomorrow by end of the class, no, I will show you. I know many of you are using graphic, so you are familiar with that. So for those who have not seen my graphic platform, I will show them tomorrow, and then they will register. And from the next week, the classes will be on graphic. Okay.
So
Today
that
and
means,
tomorrow sessions will be on YouTube. Yeah.
this means that you're migrating to the graphic platform. But what
Yeah.
about the you're not keeping the SQL videos that you had earlier with us, so we have to migrate it to the graphic from going
No,
forward.
no. In your batch, whatever is on YouTube, it will be on YouTube only.
Okay.
Okay. I think 2023, June, July onwards, and I forgot the date, we started graphic. So from that onward, the batches, whatever I've taken, that is on graphic. So they have to follow graphic. Before that, whatever is on YouTube, that will be on YouTube only.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't worry about that.
It will be like a
Samir,
reference for us. Yes, please. Thank you.
Probably at the end of this course, we can have one end-to-end use case covering all the concepts.
All the concepts means what all PL SQL concepts you're telling?
Yeah. Like we are learning concept by concept, right? Maybe one end-to-end use
No,
case.
what I'm planning, yeah, I will answer it. What I'm planning is I will show you into an ETL pipeline, how to create that. Okay, in my Python batch as well, I have received that feedback. So I will create that, and that will be ad hoc session taken in the alumni group. Okay, I will show. See, this is the Graphy platform. Okay, let me show you that. Like suppose, let me show you for any other S17 batch. I have taken that on Graphic. So here you see the appearance. So here date-wise date, 7th December, this session, notes and workbook. 8th December, I have covered where and or. Okay. If you click on the SQL 8 December, here this is the recording. We'll click on the recording, we'll get recording. Classroom notes, what all notes I have taken, you can find here. Workbook, you can download it from here. Assignment is presented. Now it is a one-stop shop for you. Everything date-wise. 11th December, I covered this topic.